Oh, I want to say good morning, but I have to say good evening. I hope everyone has had a wonderful weekend thus far. Hopefully, this will add to it and not distract from it. I appreciate everybody who is here because I know this is your time. You could be doing anything else, but you chose to spend it with me, and I appreciate it. So, I have a lot to get through. I don't know if I'm going to get through it all, but that's okay because that means that I have something for the next time. But tonight, I truly need audience participation. I need some people to get in the box because there's going to be a section where I actually have a slide that says audience participation. Good evening, everybody. If you're a member of the team, hit the Daily Heart Me. If you're not, join the team. Please, if you enjoy what you hear. Also, tap the screen. It protects the live and it lets everybody know that we are here. So we end up on the For You feed, which is the goal. So tonight, I'm going to talk about us as a community. I'm going to talk about the scammer, beggars, liars, manipulators that we cover. I'm going to talk about what we do, whether it's go live or write messages or do research. We're going to talk about the effectiveness of that. Then I have some treats for y'all that I've been working. I don't know if they're called treats, but some things I've been working on that I've mentioned from time to time that I'm actually ready to reveal. And then I have an idea I may or may not share tonight. It depends on time. I did say treats. Hello, hello. I don't know if there'll be treats to other people, but when I was working on it, it was a treat to me. Anyway, I want to start this off right and I want to end it right. So I actually wrote down what it is that I want to say. So hold on. Got to change the photo for this one. So this space right here, Digital Deceiver Shadow, the platform, the mods, everybody who comes and supports us. This right here isn't just a regular normal live. I know some people call it a podcast. Other people see us and they just stroll by. This is where truth gets a voice. And this is where the feelings that we have become actions. And this is where we're a community of people who refuse to be manipulated, used, or silenced, come together for a purpose. For most of y'all know what we're about. The goal is to find people who don't know so that they can learn and then take the message on to other people. We're going to talk about the scammers, the beggars, the liars, the manipulators, the ones who build fake stories and pull at their heartstrings, the ones who turn kindness into currency and generosity into a target. They're asking for money, gifts, hotel room, food, clothes, whatever they can get, by hiding behind lies and myth-truths and white lies. But tonight, let's focus on us for a bit. You are the ones who said this wasn't going to happen on your watch. You are the ones that took the time to question, to research, to speak up. You're the ones who are getting dragged, lied on, threatened, and you've shown up anyway. And let's keep it a buck. This isn't easy work. It's not easy being the one who interrupts a scam when someone else is clapping. It's not easy being the one who sees the red flags when others only see their sob story. And it's not easy to stand firm when people are trying to tear down your hard work. But here's the part they don't want to admit. That you actually have made a difference. You actually have stopped people from sending money they couldn't afford to lose. You actually have helped people see the manipulation for what it is. As a collective, you have educated an entire platform, whether they want to admit it or not. So tonight we're going to talk about all of it. We're going to talk about tactics, patterns, the pushback we've gotten from some of them, and the progress. Because while they would like to think we've done absolutely nothing, we know we have. So settle in, stay sharp, and stay grounded. I hope you came in here ready to participate and take a box. But this isn't about drama. We're not here for that. This is about the community and how we intend to grow it so that other people don't get taken advantage of. We're built on accountability, protection, and raising the consciousness. And what we're doing here, it matters more than anything they could ever say out loud. So that's why we're here tonight. And I needed to write that down because I actually typed it because I wanted to get it right. If I had tried to do that just off the top of my head, I'd have been all over the place. So I appreciate you allowing me to do that. So let's see. I have agendas in several places, so you're going to have to forgive me. So let's talk about the scammer, beggar, liar, manipulator. One of the things that we find is that they all think that they are the first one. They all think that we've made a decision to highlight their behavior after watching them once or twice, or we have no skills in this area whatsoever. So I put a couple of different things together. Let's see. These are some of the people that I have personally discussed. And let's remember, I haven't been around long. There are people who have been doing this for years. And new scammers try to act like they're new to the game. They're new to the threats. They're new to the doxing. They're new to the, I'm going to the FBI. We've been doing this a long time. Let's talk about the moms. There's Gabby and them and Kiki 1 and 2, the black Kiki and the white Kiki. We got Cody, Portia, Faith 1 and 2, Tia, Damika, and of course Lala. She has gone off my never touched to she will be a main character. Ladies, Asia is back, if you aren't aware. Medina, Pookie, Carla, Rachel, Maggie, Cake, Auntie Reefa. Who remembers Kim Peters? And of course we can't forget Keisha, Kesha, whatever. The couples. And this seems to be on the uptick. I didn't even put everybody down here. We, of course, got to start with Tim and Angela. And I got something funny to show y'all real quick. Hold on. This was my grid from March of 2025 when I had Tim and Angela as a bolo. And if you are unfamiliar, a bolo is a be on the lookout. I've watched them. My spidey senses have gone off. I'm not quite ready to give them the SBLM category, but I want you to watch them too. Look at who we used to cover back in March of last year. Remember when they said we don't have any success? But back in March of 2025, they were a bolo to me. How crazy is that? I know, Big Mark. Let me show you my very first grid. I look at this and I was like, man, you were bad. You were really bad at this. Risa's locked up. Quay, I don't know where she is. Lisa at the top has gone away. Kiki's about to have another baby. That's Amanda Bowden and Frank up there at the top. They are the couple that made me go live in the first place. And then World Star came and went and has come and went again. Do y'all think that because I started talking about you a week ago that I'm new to this? That any of us are new to this? This is the first time I did the grid this way. Look at Kristen and Travis. Another couple. And I got Amanda up there by herself, but it's her and Frank. We figured that out. She was the one in front of the camera, but Frank was always in the background. And now Kim has jumped over to another platform. Thank the Lord. Hope she never comes back to TikTok with the nonsense. If she comes back, I want her to come back and just be who she is. Look at this. This was a year ago. Don't see chaos no more. Maggie is true to it. Remember Miss Hershey and all the help we tried to provide her? And then Shy, that was her name at the time. That is not who she went by when she came back to life. Remember Amanda? Remember when I had to watch Amanda with the Confederate flag in her background, and when I asked about it, she acted like she had no idea of its significance? Yeah, that's how long I've been dealing with racist scammers. Remember Olivia? Everyday hotel room. And of course, at the time, Lisa was an everyday conversation. And I love how now people are like, Lisa was sick and everybody knew it and she was on rugs and of course she lied. Where was all of this back then? And let's be for real. How many of us wanted her to go get help? How many of us sat in lives where we encouraged her to go get help? In fact, the first time I talked to Lisa, I gave her encouragement and went off on Kim. Because I felt like Kim was behind 90% of what was happening at that point. Kim was the facilitator then. Uh-oh. White Sox is crying. I'm sorry, y'all. But now we want to pretend like all of us weren't trying to get her help and get out of the situation? That we weren't talking about her. We were trying to encourage people not to give her money because we were afraid she would come to her end? But now we were bullying her. I love how that twist has come about. Because we were all on it at the time. And then little by little, people stopped covering her. And it took me the longest. Because my concern was that she was always going to come across new people who were going to believe the story. But that's when my aim switched from stopping the scammer to stopping the money. It wasn't about her anymore. It was about the money stopping. I know, child, and the pictures have upgraded since then. Anyway, let's go back to the list. So the couples, remember Bree and Ty, Beth and Devin, Kristen and Travis. I couldn't remember if it was Christina or Kristen. Anyway, Amanda, Bowden, and Frank, the traveling couple, Josh and Ida, the couple with the pits now we have, and Danko and Lala. That should have been an L. Danko and Lala now. But we have history. You guys aren't the first couples we've come across. Let's go to the others. Detroit Nike is back. Apparently he lost his job. Tristan, the black one, I should have put a 1 and 2, he is sitting there again acting like the world owes him his life. And he does that reverse psychology thing like, don't sit in my life if you're not going to help me. You just want to watch me fail and blah, blah, blah. Sir, get off TikTok and go get your life together. And then the white Tristan came right back to begging. Right back to letting everybody know he needs trees. There aren't children in your neighborhood. Tristan gets a check. He doesn't get to spend it all the way he wants to, but he's taken care of. There are children in your neighborhood. And you know what's funny? You'll say to those children, well, that's your parents' responsibility. But your money is already paying Tristan's lifestyle. So how about go help a child who doesn't have any choice in the matter? Instead, you'd rather make sure that Tristan could smoke trees. Somebody has to make that make sense to me. Then we can't leave Daniel out and me standing on his neck, even though he was standing on the necks of his audience for months. You know what's so funny about the Aaron situation is that it was us. His entire life fell apart because of us. When he stopped begging, we went away, right? He came back braggadocious like the rest of them. I'm at my job. I got my place to live. And then, of course, it was somebody else's fault why it didn't work out. When you are constantly in turmoil, it is time to look at yourself. It had nothing to do with the people on TikTok. You wanted it to be us, but it wasn't. Then we have the artist also known as, I refuse to say his name, but the little live he tried to pull yesterday where he was talking about how the sheriff's department was his personal bodyguards and how they had him in the restaurant all by himself while we could hear children in the background. And then he said, they took my phone from me, so then what are you live from? Oh, I'm sure you're going to say it was a tablet. But why would they take your phone but allow you to have a tablet to go live on? Somebody make that make sense to me. Oh, hey, Maggie. What do you want? There's no money in here for you. But you're welcome to stay. Anyway. And then he acted like security was getting ready to come, so he had to end the live real quick. Why the dramatics? And just remember, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Then we got Mamba, who again gets help for 9 months, gets a job for 2 months, and then comes back and acts like the world needs to take care of him. In one breath, he says, don't take care of me, but in the next breath says, I need you to take care of me. Then going backwards, we had Mark Russell. He swore he was going to be able to live off of TikTok. Remember Chef Carl? Chef Carl was pulling in thousands. Y'all are chump change in comparison to Chef Carl. And Lisa, for that matter. Y'all are chump change. Carl was getting thousands from women trying to help him with his work to work. I was like, is there a company even named Work to Work? Nobody was asking questions to Carl until we came along. And then remember Hood Reese, who got in my box? I don't beg. My people give it to me. Well, we begging now, bro. Let's see. Who else do we have? Oh, 2 more columns. We're calling them the others. And when you look at the list, you'll understand why. We got Jordan Paul and Tim Nash and Lisa Richards and Kat and Wesley Wells and Risa, not the one that's begging today, but the one that is locked up. And what's so crazy is the people in her chat that swore up and down we were lying and that she was telling the truth and that she was clean and that she was working and all of the things. Did you look at the article or the arrest affidavit that talked about what she was found with in the car? What y'all gonna try to say it wasn't hers, it was the man she was arrested with? Because you know, birds of a feather flock together. This isn't her first arrest for this. But it's always us. We either never know what we're talking about. We have absolutely no insight whatsoever. We have accomplished absolutely nothing. I promise you, your person may still be getting some money, but it's not like they were getting it before. I promise. You might not like what we do, but I'm doing this to say this. Every single person we talk about comes back and says, I'm not a scammer. Every single one. I'm not a scammer. I really need it. They're lying to you. They're haters. They're trolls. We're not. We can recognize the pattern. We've been doing it long enough to recognize the pattern. And the goal is to share the pattern. That's why I do multiple people in one live. Because in my mind, if I just cover one person, I tell you why to avoid them, that individual. When I do 6, 9, one day I talked about 22 different scammers, that's showing you the pattern. So let's look at the racists, because how could we leave those out? We got Alexander, Becky and her kids. Her son called me the N-word while I was talking to her. Then, of course, we got Sheena, the self-proclaimed racist. Timothy Crawford, remember him when he said that black people in this country was trying to create white erasure? Because we got our hats going to church from them. We got language from them. We got work ethic from them, as if they pulled us from a cave and said, we're going to teach you how to speak, write, spell, work, cook. We had all of that already, sir. Then, of course, Tank Lip, who is willing to say anything for money, even sell his mama drawers with his signature on it. And then I put a little newers down at the bottom. There are so many newers. But just the few that I've looked at was Luna Delight, the former stripper who is now a beggar, and expects you to give her to her LA standard. We're not talking $30 a motel room or $60 nights a motel room. That chick is in LA. Then we got Jerry, who I heard was going to Kentucky, even though he's telling Nicole he's going to New York. Like, what's what? And what's so crazy to me is that there are a group of women and a few men who think that what he's doing is right, even though they know he is lying to Nicole. If a man was doing that to you, you'd want all your girls to get together and y'all would be riding by his house at night to see if somebody else is there, to see if his car is there, calling him from different telephone numbers. There are women on this app that get paid to call men to see if they'll cheat. That's what you would be doing if you had a Jerry. But you're okay with Jerry doing it to somebody like Nicole. Y'all are all okay with that. Oh, thank you. Thank you all for one. Then we got Pretty Little Hobo, who I don't even understand why y'all are still giving her money. She lives with her parents now. We know she's getting food stamps and the like, but they have enough money to take care of her. They're going to spend money on what's necessary. She wants your money for what she wants. Oh, I'm not going to say Yazzie isn't racist. But we can have a debate about racism versus prejudice. But are there black people who think they're better than other people? Yes. I'm not going to pretend like that don't exist. Detroit Nike is too. I know, Luciana. I just don't want to get derailed with that conversation. I just don't want to get derailed there. But Detroit Nike is one of the rudest, bigoted people on the planet when it suits him. But if you can be of any color, race, creed, religion if you're going to send him money. Oh, and I left off so many. But I just wanted to make a point to anybody who's new or to any of the scammers we're now covering. You aren't the first. You probably won't be the last. And guess what? Through them all, we are still here. We've even gotten some of the people who were considered OGs to come back. Because it didn't get better. It only got worse. So, I had some fun today. So, an SBLM is a scammer, beggar, liar, manipulator. You all know that I put together the scammers, the spectrum of scamming. I'm going to show it real quick, just in case. Just in case anybody here isn't aware, I'm not going to leave it up long because it is pinned to the top of my page. But when I use, and I can only speak for myself, when I use scamming, it is based on this spectrum. So some people will be like, well, I asked for money for the hotel and I use it for the hotel. I'm not a scammer. No, but you use straightforward begging, or you're dry begging, or you omit the truth in order to get it. Like, I got a job. I'm going to get paid next week. I just need you to get me through until I get paid. And then on payday, oh, something happened to my check. They didn't get it to me. But they promised I just need my hotel room paid for a week. Oh, I got the check, but they shorted me hours. And so I didn't get the full check. I need you to buy me food. Oh, my college check, it didn't come because I didn't sign up right for the semester. And even though I kept promising you I was going to get my check, something happened. Oh, I had a job, but the company fired me because of TikTok. That's what the letter says. But won't produce the letter. Oh, I'm in fear of my life. People came and knocked on my door. And even though I have cameras surrounding it, I can't show y'all that proof. Or, oh, this man is mean to me. I can't wait to get my disability. I'm going to move away from him. And then as soon as I finish my back pay, I don't have no money, more money to throw around. And now I need him. I'm going to go back to him. And then I'm going to cry to everybody and act like he is the worst thing on the planet. And oh my God, I got to go back to where we're from because his uncle or his mother or his cousin. And lo and behold, I got to sit in the front seat with the dog. And then people are like, well, sit in the back seat. Oh, yeah, I never thought of that. You lived in that car. What you mean you never thought of the back seat? I'm sure she does. And you want to know why I'm sure J. Paul is living with somebody? Because the only amount she asks for is the hotel. And you want to know why? Because she can manipulate receipts. She doesn't ask for food. She doesn't ask for feminine products. She doesn't ask for dog food. She doesn't ask for money to take the dogs to the vet. She doesn't ask for anything to do with her face or her body. She doesn't ask for like renewed clothes. She doesn't ask for anything with regards to her contacts. But remember when we were paying her car note? Remember when she was working full time and we had to give her money for food and gas? Oh yeah, she was on until after 2:00 today. Of them all, Maggie at least is not trying to sell you the story that she needs the money for a bill. But the idea that she should be able to travel at will based on other people's money when y'all aren't even going to the same concert she's going to baffles me. But that's slowing down too. So miss me with the you called me a scammer and that's all that means. No, it's a spectrum. And when you lie to get the money, when you leave out pertinent details, when you say you need the money for your hotel room, but then we find out that your hotel room is being covered through a voucher, through a program, and that what you've been spending the money on is other things, even if it's to feed the kids. Tell us the money is to feed the kids. But what we know is that the kids get to go to school and they will get breakfast and lunch. So when you show me your empty refrigerator, the same 3 or 4 pictures are rotated to sell the same sob story. When you wait until there's a hurricane to talk about how you need to go to a hotel room and your baby daddy stole your food stamps, even though last month you didn't have food stamps. Last week you were waiting until your food stamps came in a couple of days. See, what they don't like about us is we watch. We pay attention. And in my case, I write things down. Because while I have a steel trap for a memory, I choose not to just rely on that. So I can go back to, what is it? Page and verse. And see what you said. So that's what SBLM stands for. And I think that going forward, instead of saying all the words out loud, I'm just going to call them SBLMs. Because you fit one of the category. You're a scammer, a beggar, a liar, or a manipulator. You're one of them. So now I'm not going to get into an argument about whether you are a scammer or not. I'm just going to call you an SBLM. An SBLM could also be someone shifting blame and leveraging misdirection. Because if you want to get funny, I can get funny too. You don't want to be called the scammer, beggar, liar, manipulator? Then I'll call you someone who shifts blame and leverages misdirection in order to get money out of people. How about that? Would you prefer that? Because either way, you're still a SBLM. I got one more for you. This is what I need the people who fund them to do. to scrutinize before losing your money. How about that? How about you scrutinize their name by putting their name in the search bar? And you can even add the word scam after, because then you'll see our videos for sure. And then you can take it a step further and click on the little TikTok taco, the emblem. Remember I told you all about that a few weeks ago? Because when TikTok AI tells you they're a scammer, don't believe me, believe TikTok AI. Forget about getting a message from me. Get the message from TikTok AI. Because TikTok AI knows what they're known for on TikTok. Okay? But for everybody sitting in the SBLM's live, scrutinize before losing your money. Because that's all it's going to be at the end of the day. You're going to get nothing back. When Maggie's mod, who was loyal to her, asked how she was loyal to him, she said, what? My love. My love don't pay no bills. My love doesn't keep me warm and fuzzy at night. Wait a minute. Hold on. Lava Cake, don't call her a maggot. We don't do that around here. We don't do that around here. I don't need any name calling, any misdirection whatsoever. And the reason why is because when stuff like that happens, they won't say Lava Cake said it. They'll say in Digital's live, she didn't control her chat, etc., etc. So I just don't want it to happen here at all. Okay? Thank you. Oh, and I forgot about the people who lie when they sell stuff. Shout out to Carrie Wells. I just saw her name. Hello. Welcome in. Hold on. I want to make sure that I'm there. I got to look at both things. Wait a minute. I hope y'all are enjoying it so far. I got to look at both my agendas. Okay. So we're at the place of what we can do, right? I'm not going to your hotel, going to your home, trying to find your parents, trying to find your best friend, looking up your high school records. I am not doing that. And because I'm not doing it, I can't recommend that to anybody else. I don't do FOIAs. I'm not trying to seek your ex-husband who DV'd you 3,000 years ago to find out his side of the story. I'm not doing it, especially if it's not pertinent. But if I find out that you're using your ex's name for a CA to get stealing money from people, yeah, I'm all for finding him. All for finding him. Because you're breaking the law. And you know I have the law, children, elderly, and animals. I will break my creed for those 4 things. Other than that, real life isn't for me. I stay on the side of TikTok. So we either send messages and go live. Go live can be the way I go live. Go live could be streaming them. As long as within TikTok guidelines, be my guest. But when they like to give us F's, hold on. When they like to give us all F's for what we do, as if we haven't been successful at all, I know that's not true. And so the first thing I want to do is, for if you're new here, if you're not sure, and I did use ChatGPT to do this, because all of us do it differently, and I wanted to give you a baseline from which to start. Okay, Carrie. I have 3 versions of a similar message that you can tweak from. Hold on, I'm not ready for anybody to come up yet. So, the first one is short and sweet. Hey, I wouldn't say gently, but ChatGPT does its thing. I wanted to gently say this situation has some red flags that look like common scams on TikTok. I know you're an adult and it's your money, but I'd hate for you to get hurt. Might be worth pausing and double checking before sending anything. We're not reading them the whole story. We're not taking them back 3 years. Hey, listen. Pause. What is it? Scrutinize before losing your money. The next one is a little bit more thorough. Hi, I just wanted to reach out in a respectful way. I completely understand that you're making your own choices and it's your money. But I've seen situations like this before on TikTok and that didn't end well for people. Some of these accounts rely on urgency, emotional stories to get quick payments. It might be a good idea to take a moment, look into their history, or even search their name plus the word scam before sending. Why can't I see it now? Sending anything, just looking out for you. And then the third one. This one is longer. Hey. All of them start with a hey. I hope you don't mind saying something. I hope you don't mind me saying something. I want to be respectful because you're an adult and it's absolutely your decision what you do with your money. At the same time, I feel it's important to share that this creator has been labeled a scammer by multiple people based on past behavior. There have been reports over a period of time, and then you can mention a time frame, like in Jordan's case, 5 years, or over the past few months, years, where individuals sent money and didn't receive what was promised, or were blocked afterward. Some people have even shared their experiences publicly, saying that they felt taken advantage of. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I'd strongly encourage you to look into those reports. Take your time and make sure you feel 100% confident before sending anything. Just trying to make sure you have all the information. Now, what is so important about that? For one thing, you don't hear anybody saying, "You're stupid. Are you dumb? Don't you know?" Because people don't know what you don't know. There was a time when every one of us was new to TikTok, was new to the scammers. And y'all know how I feel because I supported somebody who I thought was anti-scam. They were just anti-Lisa. But I thought they were anti-scam. And at the time, I was anti-Lisa. So yeah, I was supporting them 100%. And I went from their life to another one and was treated like trash by a group of women who thought I knew. They were like, "We saw you say you was going to support her 100%. And you know me, do not invite me to the good time." I was like, "And I did? And I did? What's the problem?" And I said to them, "You really think that everybody knows everything about everything? We don't. Y'all better keep it cute because this is about a kumbaya moment. This is a kumbaya moment. We have enough nonsense and noise on the outside. Don't bring it in here. You got a problem? Turn your light on and make it happen." Anyway, You don't see any rudeness. You don't see any assumptions that you can tell somebody what to do. The goal is to lead them in the right place. Wait, you said I sent LR a piece one night. Next day she went live saying she hadn't eaten in 4 days. Exactly, J double. Double. That's what it is, J double. Exactly. But if we start off nasty because we're sick of the scammer, or they should have known. Now, let me also say this. These messages are for people who we haven't seen for a while. They're not there supporting everything they say. They're not there co-signing all of their nonsense. Like when Jordan says, I show proof, and they're like, yup. Or do y'all remember when I wasn't asking for money, when I was just doing my gaming streams? Girl, while you were gaming, you were begging. Like, let's stop it already. When you see them, don't bother. That's the willfully ignorant. And I'm about to show you who they are in a minute. This is one of them treats I was talking about. Because for a long time, I have wondered, what is wrong with those people? Like, do they not hear what we hear, see what we see? And half the time they're running in there. I saw this video and I saw this, so they see it. They're reading Reddit. They know what's going on over there. So they know. But I have explanations about why I think they do that. But before I get there, and this is where audience participation becomes necessary. Wait. Let me do this first. So this was a recent experience. And I'm not sure how many of the people from her time are here. They were the impetus to me doing this live tonight. Because as I told y'all, she came to me honestly through a scroll. I honestly hadn't heard anybody else talking about her. I had never seen her before. I didn't know anything about her. But the way she was talking made me stop. Because I'm in tune to the pattern. Now, just because I stop doesn't mean I stay. But I stayed here. And I listened to the story about this wonderful man who's the father to her children, and how he was from Mexico, and how what a great father he was, but he passed away in a motorcycle accident. And how it became so overwhelming for her that she had to bring her children to Mexico to be with the grandparents. And they were excellent grandparents, but they lived in the country. And there weren't any jobs there that she could do to be with her children. And then I heard about how horrible her mother was. And how she was supposed to be given land after the death of the father, the grandfather, somebody, and that the mother prevented it. That her and her kids should be living on a farm somewhere. And I'm thinking to myself, you do know you got to pay like property taxes. You got to take care of the fields and or the animals. And you can't take care of yourself yet. But I reserve judgment. It wasn't until somebody came on and said, we were able to extend your room another day. And she was like, oh, great, wonderful. And I was like, Bolo, off the rip, Bolo. Because I've heard this same sob story over and over. They always have a sob story. They always have a series of stories that have put them in their situation that were of zero control, that they had zero control over. It's always everybody else. And then the more I listened, the more sob stories I heard about her being homeless in Texas, and how she was living in an abandoned house. She almost lost her life there, and people took pity on her and moved her around. And initially I thought, she's from Mexico or Texas. And that someone, she claimed that someone brought her to Chicago to restart her life. And then I brought her to y'all because I was like, something ain't right. Too many of these stories. And why is this young, able-bodied woman not working? She doesn't have her children. She doesn't even speak to her children from what I can determine because they're in the woods. And I'm thinking to myself, we can talk to people in space, but you can't talk to somebody in the country in Mexico at this point? Something ain't right. She doesn't even talk about her children. Something's not right. And y'all know, I got pushback from her people. Why are you talking about her? She's a nice lady. Because I've been watching patterns. I've been doing this a while. Now, certainly not as some of the OGs, but I've been doing this a while. Oh yeah, thank you. Everybody share the live. Tap the screen. That's what's so insidious about what they do, because they capture people by their stories. And even though I was getting pushed back, and she did stupid stuff like change her name to Digital Deceivers Karma, which I thought, you claim you're so smart. You made your name mine. And then, of course, everybody's asking you, what is that about? And you're like, oh, it's this bitch that blah, 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 blah. And she says this, that, and the third, and she doesn't know what she's talking about. And now people want to know who I am and why am I talking about you. I have people on YouTube questioning me about her. Why am I talking about her? And the more she did, the more I talked about. And little bit by little bit by little bit, some of those people started to think, wait, something's not right. And I don't even know if they got it from my live or not. But in that time, I was able to meet a Chungus_Rachel account. And there was another account. Those are people who had dealt with her in real life. I was a spectator. They had lived it. And of course, she said we were the same person. She gave me a name. Then she posted a picture. Girl, you were wrong about all of it, but you're smart. Keep doing. Keep going. And one of the things that hurt me about it is that by the time many of them woke up, she had so much of their information, she was able to dox it. She knew them personally. She had telephone numbers. She met their kids like via photos. She was in their real accounts. So the more that they were able to prove about her, the harder she went with the information she had about them. And even when they figured out what she was lying about and that she has a warrant for her arrest, it might not be a warrant that the police are going to go banging every Airbnb to find her, but it's there. And she knows it because she's a criminal. She knows what name to give them. She lied to them about her name because she didn't want them to figure out who she was. What she never expected was that her scamming on TikTok would create enough fever that people who didn't know who she was, somebody like me, a spectator, and the people who have been supporting her would ever get together. She thought there is no way in the world that those three groups of people will get together. Ain't no way. TikTok is too big. But see, when you scam around here, there are those of us dedicated to the cause. Dedicated. And we'll find you eventually. And we're going to bring light to you eventually. And so I don't care about whether she's on the app or not. I don't care if she still begs. The goal is to stop anybody else from giving her a dime. And what's so funny for me is that she swore up and down to them that she would unalive if she didn't have an Airbnb, if she didn't have a hotel room, if she didn't have food. She claims she's fine now, though. What happened to unaliving? What happened to not being able to get a shower? And what cracks me up is now she suddenly has all these friends locally. She's going on dates. She's showering. She's eating. She's going live. So did she really? Oh, goodness. Sorry. Puzzle piece. What happened to all of that? Oh, yeah. Nails done, Kimmy. Nails done. She acts like her life is the best. Let me tell you. She went live. Let me find it. Here we go. Chungus. And she's like, I'm back and happier as ever. How are you happier than ever? Who's footing the bill now? Of course, we're jealous of her. Who's jealous of a homeless woman who has to lie to live? Who has to look over their shoulder? Who? I'm comfortable in the skin I'm in. Believe me, my worst day is better than your best. There's no jealousy whatsoever. You want to talk about Jesus and how you pray and read the Bible? Why are you lying? You've lied about your name. You've lied that your children are in in Mexico. They're in foster care. You lied about being pregnant so people would give you money to stay in Airbnbs and Ubers because you couldn't take it. Jesus doesn't like that. He equates lying with murder, but you wouldn't know that because you don't actually read any scriptures. See, the thing about the Bible is it's a double-edged sword. You can read all of the Psalms and Proverbs and all of the ministry of Jesus to be uplifted, but there's other scriptures that scrutinize your behavior, and all of us fall short. All of us do. But you lie for monetary gain. You lie to keep people in the dark about who you are truly. You are like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and Jesus didn't like them very much. So I'm going to need you to leave Jesus and the Bible out of it, because you do not exemplify that in any way other than exemplifies the fact that God has love for the stupid and the babies. You're a reflection of God's love. That's it. Because at the time, you're going to say, Jesus, Jesus. And he's going to say, I never knew you. Don't come over here. You weren't one of my people. Leave it out. Leave it out of your bag. Leave it out of your drama. When I found out she was from Chicago, blew my mind. She told them people she needed $60 between getting a birth certificate and an ID. Being homeless in Chicago, you can get your birth certificate for free. Free. And now that the ladies have come together, let me just tell you, don't mess with women and their money. And certainly don't add their kids into the mix. And so, of course, she goes live cracking up about how she went to the FBI at night. Let me say this for all the people who love to run to the FBI. You can make a report. They can investigate the report for what you claim. They can even arrest you and charge you for that thing. But until you are convicted, it means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. But I know, Rachel, that in order to make the report, you would need to show some form of identification for it to go forward. You need to give them your names on social media and ours. You'd have to try to give them all of the information you had about us. And because the FBI cyber unit is thorough, they're going to watch yours and ours. See, what you don't seem to understand is you think that we're all screen recording everything you do. And what you don't know is that there are apps that do it. We don't got to screen record you. There are apps that do that. So the FBI will be able to look at every single live you've ever done. And then, in order for them to further investigate it, they have to talk to us. And see, when the ladies start pulling out their statements and their text messages and their PPs and VMOs and CAs, and the number of times they had to book it for you, and the DMs and messages where you lied repeatedly. And when they come to me, I'm going to pull out my 3 notebooks and say, where would you like to start? See, baby girl, the FBI is going to have to run your name. In the same way with the artist also known as, you have a case to worry about. You running to the FBI trying to make it seem like you're squeaky clean, if you even went, means nothing. Because I'm waiting for the knock. So I can say, well, oh, okay, well, you know. Let's talk about the people who have been hurt by their behavior. Because I know some of them have reached out to the FBI. When you're doxing people, but made a complaint about being doxed, how does that work? Because I know for every scammer that's ever called the police, 9 times out of 10, they have told them to either get off social media, stop talking about it, stop engaging, stop doing the things. So we'll wait. Because I know for a fact that my lives have saved people from doing what they're doing. True. Now, is there anybody from that group that would like to come up and talk about it before I open it to the floor? Because this was done for you to begin with. Correct, Kimmy? I agree. Hey, MLA. And let me also stress this. We all have a mental health capacity. Some of us are good. We're smooth. There's no problems. Some of us have issues. Some of us are so severe that we require monitoring and hospitalization, and we can't live alone. And there are levels to this. But don't tell me you can go on dates, you can walk around the city, you can talk to random strangers, you can beg money from strangers on the internet, you can travel all over the place, but then say your mental health can't accept scrutiny, criticism, commentary, or questions. It doesn't work like that. And then I could turn around and say, but my mental health is bad because she's saying that I'm a liar. That, baby. Would anybody like to come up? Because otherwise, I'm going to open it to the floor. And this is the question I have for the floor. Have you ever written a message or received a message or been invited to a live or seen a live that has stopped you from giving money or that's encouraged you to pick up the mantle and go forward? Because the mods, the enablers, the supporters, they look to detract from what we do. We all know Dawn is back, and Dawn is an OG scammer. Let me change this photo. We all know Dawn is an OG scammer, and when she came back this time, she came back with tears. Biggest manipulator ever. Biggest manipulator ever is a woman's tears. And because she was crying, she let people believe she was being evicted. She wasn't. The landlord decided not to renew with her. Now, he gave her the proper notice. That wasn't an eviction. Whatever lease she signed said she had to give 30, they had to give 30. Or it might have even said she has to give 60 days notice and they only have to give 30 days notice. Whatever the law was, that's what happened. And perhaps because she lost her job and they were at the end of the lease, the landlord said, nah, not going to sign another year lease because I already know you're not working. And it got people to feel sorry for her. But this is what's crazy about the enablers and the moderators. When people were like, when are you getting evicted? They let that slide. But when I replied to them and said she's not being evicted, her lease is ending and the landlord isn't renewing, they muted me. Why? Because if this is about the truth being the truth, what's wrong with the truth? See, they're okay with them lying. They support that. They support the lie as long as it enables the person. But would you do it? Unfortunately, some of them would. So I can't even say that out loud. Karma, not always. They get something out of supporting somebody. They get something out of being able to reject or mute or block. But they're not getting anything from the mod. Look at Maggie's mods. Look at Maggie's mods. They got to pay her. They got to send her money when nobody else is to make it look like she's getting money. And then they want to sit back and talk shit about people who are like, I wouldn't do it. And I suggest you don't either. So you can ask for the money, but I can't suggest that people not send it to you. I'm not making nobody not send it to you. I'm not twisting any arms. I'm simply saying, know the whole story. And then if you still want to get your money, I got a word for you. So let me go back to that. Audience participation. It is open. Okay, hold on. Carrie asked first. Oh, maybe she dropped down. Sorry. Carrie, you can come up if you want to. I don't know. Did somebody go live? Good morning, Pixie. I mean, good evening. I'm so used to saying good morning.
So you have the boxes open for people who have been fell for a scam. Correct? This is what this. Okay. So I'm going to talk about Lo.
Oh, yes. I watched her today. I'm glad you are. Where are my notes on Lo? Let's go. I watched her today.
So I came across her profile, her live on my For You page. And she was on there talking about how she was extremely sick and potentially was going to pass away. So I fell for it.
Mm-hmm.
I went into her live. We became friends. We talked outside of TikTok, through texting. And then I sent her a box of stuff for her kids, for her. And then after that is when it all fell apart, because then I started noticing the lab work she was posting online was duplicate of something that you could Google.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was never on it. Yeah, I understand maybe you don't want your name out there, but she had already put her real name out there.
Correct.
So she could have, blocked out her last name, whatever, to prove that the lab work was really hers. And saying that she needed oxygen. Well, as we all know, half the time she doesn't even have oxygen on.
Nope. Especially not now that John is there.
Nope. And I called her out on her bullshit. Didn't do it online. I didn't do it on TikTok Live. I did it through text message. And she absolutely lost it, saying, my labs are real, blah, blah, blah. Well, what she didn't know is that her mod, Julie, the one that said she was a cop,
Mm-hmm.
she was going over to Lowe's place,
Mm-hmm.
and then started realizing, oh, she can walk. Oh, she can bathe.
Mm-hmm.
And because I called her out, she now is telling people that I texted her to off herself, which I never did.
What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She said it came from an Arizona number. Well, she had me blocked, so I can't text her or call her. And she said it on live that I sent her that text message.
Yeah, it was funny because I said I got your number, meaning like I got who you are as a person, and she went and told everybody I had her telephone number. Like,
And
girl.
she said that I gave you her
Yep.
phone number.
Mm-hmm. I don't call anybody. There isn't a single scammer, beggar, liar, manipulator that can say I've called them, called where they're staying, talked to any of their family members unless it was on TikTok. None of it. We're talking about how either you were how you woke up out of a scammer. Did you get a message? Did you message somebody and were successful? All of it. And so she's talking about her interactions with Lo, or her account used to be Aloshifa, but she thought she got away with me by changing her name. Girl, it don't matter. You can change your name 75 million times. I'm gonna find you and watch. Because it's the same account, just a different name.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just tell y'all, because I was going to talk about this on Monday, but since we're on low, and I'll probably talk about it again. But now, so she's talking to her people, and if you go to her page now, John is there. Remember when she did the whole GoFundMe and was begging for money for John to get there, and she wanted people to pay John's rent where he was and then pay for him to get there and all of that. And I asked a very pertinent question. If you're going back to your house, who has been paying those bills all this time? Because you've been at your mama's house. So who's paying the bills at your house for John to come to? And then why John's been working, why he doesn't have the money. So she kind of took it down, stopped talking about it, tried to make it seem like John wasn't coming, it was over with. John is there. And if you want me to believe that John and her are in two separate rooms, I don't believe it. I think she brought her man to her and she thought she could convince her audience to pay for it. But Now she claims she has a diagnosis, but she doesn't start that way. She's like, I was laying here and I was thinking about how sometimes it would just be great if people would give you an apology. And I knew exactly where she was going. Manipulation 101. She's like, because she's like, it's kind of silly for me to expect it. I thought that when I was able to get a diagnosis, then I posted it, that I would get apologies from people. You know why, Lo? Whether you have a diagnosis or not, and let me do this caveat, having a diagnosis is relieving because at least you have something to research. You know what it is, you can start working on it. I'm not going to take that away from her, but it's the things you did to get there, which is why people had a problem. You use filters on your face to make yourself look sick. You lied, you connived, you manipulated. You, to this day, do you know she is still bashing her parents?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if only I had family. Girl, do they have your kids still?
Yes, they do. The kids are not with her. They're at her parents' house.
But they're
Actually,
the
her
worst.
son lives with his grandparents, her parents. Her daughter lives with her sister. Her daughter doesn't want anything to do with
Wow.
her. And
And she was like, I'm
somebody
trying to
found,
get her. She had John go buy her daughter tulips. Who paid for that, Lo? Who paid for that? Remember, she was getting her hair done, getting her nails done, and you want me to believe she was doing all of that just to sit in the house? But when she thought she was coming and giving us the business in a TikTok, it was Emily, it was all of us over there. She comes into the box thinking she's gonna clock something, and guess where she was? She was out to dinner with her family. I thought you could barely get down the stairs, Low, and now you're out to dinner.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
But
glad you
somebody
woke up.
found, Dee Dee, somebody found TikToks of Lo doing, and her daughter commented on that TikTok
Mm-hmm.
and said something to the effect of, maybe somebody should tell the truth about you.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think it's on the Reddit page.
ooh. Let me just tell you something. You gotta love children, and I don't know how old she is, but even Lala's children telling her, they be like, "She ain't selling them cats," or "We ain't paying for the hotel," or "No, mommy, you didn't buy that for me." Yo, kids will keep it a buck when you need them to be quiet. You
Yeah,
gotta
and
love
that's
it.
her biggest thing. My kids don't want to be on the internet. They don't want me taking pictures of them. Well, you have pictures of them all over your TikTok, and
Hi,
how you don't
Didi.
want anything to be exposed about her, but yet you have a OF page.
What? Hold on. Lowe's
Yes.
new account name is LIIOORRAA. So it's one L, two R's, two O's. I'm sorry, it's two I's, two O's, two R's, and three A's. It's like an exaggerated Leora or something like that. Her name is
Yeah.
Lauren. But it used to be Elashiva 88. That's what it used to be. Okay, hold on, Pixie. Good evening, Carrie. You want the box?
Yes.
Man.
So I've been told to start calling out enablers for beggars, and I'm not trying to start nothing on your page or whatever, but I have some screenshots I want to send you.
Okay.
I'm trying to do my green screen, but I have no idea how to do it.
You gotta click on the bottom where you get green screen by TikTok, and then when you open it all the way up, you'll see a plus sign.
Uh, Hold on, I'm trying.
Okay, while you do that, Suze, what did you want to say?
Easier to
Yeah.
coordinate.
Yeah.
Oh, she's with you? Okay,
Yeah.
Queen.
Let me just send you. Can I just send you my screenshots and you can show them?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. You got him, Dee. Queen, what did you want to say?
All right, Dee Dee, you wanted to know who my scammer was that got me into this?
Yes.
Eddie.
Eddie.
Eddie Sanchez, rest in peace, my friend. He lived with his sister, would beg for money for food, for an efficiency apartment. I didn't know. I just saw a broken soul. He lost his dad. I lost my dad. I understood him in that line of where he was at mentally. And he got to me. And he was at the gas station and he was showing food that looked so good. And I don't like to see somebody hungry, so I sent him $5. And after that, I got messages. And the one that hit me the hardest was a message from, I don't know if Auburn messaged me.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't message hardly anybody, so Auburn was like, hey, he lives with his sister, and he explained everything to me, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know, I'm so sorry.
Wow, how long ago was that?
Oh my gosh, 2020-ish? I think I was still, goodness, I was in the hospital a lot because I had COVID, and I had complications from COVID.
Oh,
So
I'm so sorry.
2020 would be it.
Wow.
And I know I'm out of breath, I apologize, I'm at work.
That you're okay. I appreciate you coming up. Carrie, where did you send them?
I sent them to your TikTok page, and All for One also has them. I sent it to him.
Oh, All for One, you want to come up? Because I can't get them from my TikTok page while I'm live, I don't think.
Yeah, and I just want to say this has nothing to do with what me and another creator have went through a month ago. I've let that go, but this said person has been talking about me pretty much all the time, bashing me, saying I'm trying to do this for clout, but I am exposing the fact that she's been in 2 beggars' lives, and I've got the proof.
I'm sorry, Pixie.
Wait, hold on.
All right, Dee Dee, I'm going to
you're
go
fine.
up, love.
I'm good.
Thanks for listening to me. I'm glad I got to talk to you, and
I do
will catch you
too.
Monday morning.
Okay, thank you. I
All right.
appreciate you coming up. I know people are shy. Hold on, I want to see that first before I put it up here.
All right, I love y'all.
I
Bye.
love you too. Thank you.
Suze, I
Hold
can't
on,
let
All
you
for
back
One.
on.
'Cause I don't want any bullshit. Sorry, I just don't.
No, it's just proof that she sent money. That's all, I promise.
You want to know how we bring? Stick around, Nelly. I'll get there. Hello, Glenda. How are you, Glenda? Okay, maybe she didn't mean to come up. Hey, Suze.
Hey, sorry I fell out. I had to send All for One my screenshot via IG.
Okay, All for One. I'm gonna put you in a big box, but this
Okay,
better
you better
not
be
be
ready
New
to hold on to
Bedford.
this ride.
I don't want this. We want to stay focused.
Look, this person's been coming into a lot of awareness lies, folks.
Okay.
And look, I'm not gonna sit here and play games about it. You can follow whoever you want to, but this person will be blocked forever from my pages, period.
Okay.
So hold on.
I
Oh,
know Ray Sparkles is like, dude. Oh.
I'm sorry, folks. It's got to go out. And yes, the proof was shown. Now, look, this is who comes into lies for awareness. And I also want to put out something else in reference to Margaret and not so easily broke. Here's the screenshot that shows proof. It's enough for me.
Can you read what it says? Because I can't with the comment.
Doodle family states right underneath Uncle Sam wants you. It says I can send 10.
10. Ooh.
I have another screenshot to put up, Ben, too.
Okay.
And look, if we're on the trail to turn around and put out about enablers and so forth, there you go.
And
I don't agree with it, period. I don't. Look, it's your money. You want to give it to them, that's fine. That's on you. But don't sit in a live with me when I'm trying to put out awareness, such as digital deceivers or anybody else, and sit there and play, let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya crap.
Right.
I don't want to hear it. I don't. And receipts are given, receipts are shown, with all respects to all platforms and everybody that's creator. I'm sorry. You can't sit on awareness and then expect to not be called out. You don't want to be called out. Don't sit there and give them your goddamn money.
Right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't mean to rage out like that. But here's the other thing that I noticed too, and I want to point this out too. Not Easily Broke is going in under troll accounts to awareness pages.
What?
And is Doodle Fams in here? You want to say what you want to say, but here's the thing. Don't put it in there under your real account. If you're going to play games with them under a troll account. That way nobody knows who you are.
I'm tired of that excuse though, because if
I know, but at least I'm giving it an opportunity.
You know better.
I know.
We've said it over and over again. Somebody had just asked me a few moments ago about how to do awareness. Let's be clear about a couple of things. The first piece of advice I would give to anybody is don't do it with your real account. Because the moment you say something about somebody, they're going to go to your account. They're going to look and see where you live, who your family is, what you do. So create an account that you do awareness under. That's advice number 1. That's what I did. Advice number 2, do not use the account that you are known on within awareness, or as I call it, anti-scam, and then go do some foolishness in a scammer's live. Because I always say the hills have eyes and so does TikTok. Everybody is watching everything. And so they're going to report you saying that. And because we've given so many people passes, like, oh, just don't do that, I feel like people do it and then that's the excuse. Now, I don't know about Doodle Farm, but how many times have we told y'all, don't do it in your name, especially one that we all know, and then be like, oops, sorry. And also, what is trolling going to get you? Telling her you're going to send her $10 and then just not saying it. Then guess what they say? See, that's what awareness does. They pretend like they're going to send money and they don't. For what? For a laugh?
Well, wait.
But then don't forget, you're enticing others to give them money.
Correct.
And it's not just saying that you're going to give them money, but being nice to them and chummy to them. Then that encourages other people to say, oh, maybe she's not that bad. Maybe George's not that bad because people are nice to her.
Wait. Let me be a little clear on that. It's not about being nice. You can go in and say, hello, how are you? How's your day? Or, what's the weather? But if you're like, how are you feeling today? Did you eat today?
Yes.
Did you get some rest? Did you have somewhere to stay? Because you're prompting them to say the things they need.
Yes.
In order to get the money. There's the difference. Being nice and being cordial is one thing. Giving them prompts to be able to ask for money is something else. Now, hold on. Doodle wants to... Do I really want to do this right now? Doodle wants to get in the box because I got 20 minutes and I still got stuff I want to do. But since it happened here, I got to give her the opportunity to defend herself here. Go ahead, Doodle.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
first of all, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like an absolute fool. So all for one, I apologize. If you look at that post, that was back in July. And I will be honest, I was brand new to the awareness community. I had just started watching Gabby. I was watching Lisa Richards, and people would say I sent 10. And I kind of just went with the flow. I didn't have anything to do with having a burner account, never had any of that. I was literally brand new.
Okay.
And I will be honest, I feel dumb now. So I apologize to everyone here. That is not something I do. I don't even have a Cash App. When I sent that, I don't remember it, to be honest, but I was going into people that were sending, her money and trying to get them to stop. I might have said things to make them feel better so they didn't feel bad for sending it. I've had creators tell me they felt dumb for sending money. And I might have just said, I've been there, done it, that kind of thing. But today, I want everyone to know I am very upset, and I'm just going to say it. What Carrie did was wrong. I went into JP's live, and yes, I know now to have a burner account, but I'm
And I
blocked.
apologize for
No,
the
I'm
bingo
not done.
thing
I'm not done.
because of that.
No,
So
what you
this
did
is
was
not.
not okay. Girl,
Well,
stop.
I apologize to you, and
Nope,
you know it.
nope, you did not.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
did.
so
I made a live,
Penny,
and you
Penny
were
even knew
apologizing to
can I
me, Terry.
finish?
Thank you very much.
Penny even knew I was going in to do that. We were trying to get her to say that very last phrase of the bingo card. And I made one comment, and within 1 minute, Carrie blasted me all over. She's doing it out of being vindictive.
Nope.
And absolutely, absolutely.
I'm awareness, honey. I call out enablers and beggars.
Okay.
It's called
So do you
awareness,
just normally
okay?
keep screenshots of
People sent
comments
me that.
for
People
months in
send
your
me
phone? That's
screenshots.
weird.
I just got it today, Doodle. Ask Suze.
You just got it
But
today.
wait, can I ask a question, Doodle? When it came up, you said in this chat that you thought it was someone just creating trouble. So was it you or not you?
I don't recall it, but it had to have been me. Again, July. I was brand new to the awareness
Okay.
community.
All
Brand
right.
new.
I'm just
So I
trying to
do.
answer the question.
Yeah, but
I'm not
that
going to feel,
was
I'm not going to lie.
Becky.
I feel like an idiot.
You're
That was
wrong.
Becky. What about the one with Maggie?
Maggie was 2 weeks ago.
I don't think it was 2 weeks ago. I haven't, no,
Well,
it couldn't have been
Southern
2
Rose,
weeks. Carrie,
she's in here.
Carrie,
You want to come up, Southern Rose?
I have had this profile picture for a little bit now. I don't recall it.
Look,
I just don't, but I
how
don't
I'm gonna
send money.
Wait a
hey,
minute.
with
Wait a
all
minute.
respects, before I drop, I'm just gonna put it out. She apologized. She's new. She doesn't know what she's doing. And I'll be honest with you all, what I've seen with Penny Fairies Live, people entice Jordan to say certain things to get the bingo card marked. I've seen it. They'll
And
entice her
I
to,
am so
say
sorry,
something.
everyone. I love this community. I love everything that it stands for. It's just not something I do. I don't send money to people. So if there was something I've said, I apologize. I don't remember why I said it. I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. Not gonna lie. I just don't recall it.
Hey,
I mean, I look at it
if I
this
could,
way. She's apologized, Dee Dee.
Right.
She's learning.
Right.
I mean,
to go
you're
off
going to
that,
make mistakes. I've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. We're not perfect.
Absolutely.
So,
I just don't want it to become another tit for tat. If you
right,
are new, Doodle, I am sorry because I
right.
just finished talking about
No,
having new people and understanding that they don't know everything.
you don't need to be sorry. I do apologize because I
But I don't want you to feel like the community is after you.
Right.
We want people to be incredibly mindful, and this is what I say: have your own moral compass. Just because other people do it doesn't mean you need to. And this is my moral compass. Would I want somebody to do it to me?
right.
And if the answer to that is no, I'm not going to do it to somebody else. Just because other people find it funny and a joke and all of that. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the bingo card. But me personally, I wouldn't do anything to make her say it because then the bingo card isn't genuine.
Right.
That's me.
Right.
I can't
I
tell
agree with
anybody
that.
else how they do it.
Can I
Because
say
she's gonna.
something real quick? There's two lessons to be learned here. One, I know specifically that Penny Ferry does that bingo card, and he says he does not want anybody enticing any communication over there because it needs to be organic. That was
Right.
his word, organic. So if you go over there and you're trying to entice, and I'm not Doodle, I don't even know you, sweetheart. I'm just putting it out there. If you go over there and to entice, then it's really it kind of takes away from the game. It's supposed to be organic, it's a
Right.
game. I thought about that bingo card months ago and I was like, I bet you this would be some funny shit. And it is now. And it's funny.
It is.
But don't go over there and entice. Another thing to learn here is that little sentence. I will send you 10. I can send you 10. I can send you 5.
Right.
That opens up
Other people doing it.
other people in there. There's 420 people in here. Please understand.
Mm-hmm.
When you say something like that, that opens up the people that maybe follow you someplace else or have seen you someplace else. In Beggars, I go in Beggars lives all the time. I watch. I don't say anything. Now, I will say, when I was in Yazzies, I did not have time to jump on my burner and go in there and try to convince those people not to give, because I know, because I looked up her Tick Leap, that her payout on Wednesday, she was on Friday. Tick Leap pays out on Wednesday. She got $1,761. And she is begging on Friday for people to send her money that she needs money for a hotel room. I did not have time because there was people in there saying, how much do you need? How much can I send you? Please put your cash app. I immediately went in there with straight facts. She just got $1,761 in her Tick Leap payout. Look it up. I repeated that same statement. She does not need money. She got $1,800 2 days ago. I mean, if you're going to be in there on your main or you're going to communicate with them at all, it is straight facts. No bullshit. No being mean to people in the chat. So there's a lesson to learn there. If you're going to go in and say anything, straight facts. Don't ask them how they are. Don't ask them if they've eaten. Don't ask them how they feel. Don't say, hey, I can send you money, because it opens up communication where they can pull in the, hey, have you eaten today? No, I haven't eaten today. I haven't eaten since yesterday. Now people
the other thing that also points to, real quick to interject, it also points to the fact that they're not going to ask you how your day was.
No, they're not. They don't care.
Nope.
They only care about giving you some sad sob story so that they can pull the heartstrings of the other 100 and some odd people that are in there. I mean, Yazzy's got 1.3 thousand people. She's got 500 people that watch her fucking sleep. It's craziness. So if you're going to ask her, hey, how are you feeling today? Oh, I don't feel good. I'm hungry. I'm out in the street. Oh my God, that just opens up other people to feel sorry for her. Hey, I can send you 10. That just says, oh, well, somebody else is going to send money, so it won't be a bad idea if I send money, even if you have no intention of sending it.
Right.
That will be an explosion of people giving, which is
Also, I wanted to say too,
that March 30th was when she was in Maggie's live saying she'll send $10. March 30th.
I don't remember it, Carrie. You need to stop.
Emily's wanting to come up. I'm not talking
All
to
right,
you. I'm
hold
talking to
on.
Dee Dee.
Okay, wait. I know somebody wants to come up. I'm going to let them come up. I'm going to let this go for a few more minutes and you guys can talk about it. And then I need to move on because
Dee Dee, I'm
wasn't
actually going to
prepared.
drop real quick, but I do want to put out anybody that's doing awareness or streaming, be very careful. Not Easily Broke is going in on another account and screenshotting everybody that goes into your live and then runs back to Maggie with all the info, just to let you all know.
Before you
Yeah.
leave,
A
too,
lot of them do
all
that.
for one,
Yes.
before you leave, if you can next time just like reach, I send you screenshots all the time. And never once have you ever said, hey, can you explain this? I would have talked to you about it. I didn't even remember this. I really don't. And you know I'm not one to send money. I am sending you screenshots all the time.
Doodle,
Right.
And
we
never
can't,
once have
Doodle,
reached back
but we
out to me. And
can't
I just
say
think that,
that. We can't necessarily say that because people who we thought we could trust have betrayed. So I
but don't you
agree with
think he
you.
could ask instead of
Yes.
blasting?
Well,
Absolutely.
yes, I'm not going to say that that couldn't have
I'm not going to
happened because of
disagree.
course.
So my apologies to you, Doodle.
And I apologize too. I just wanted to say that.
Okay, hold on. Mainly, what did you wanted to say?
Dee Dee, I'm going to drop there.
Okay, thank you.
Uh,
Mainly,
All right, so respectfully, like Doodle fam, right? So we didn't know why you did what you did, right? Carrie posted this video. I saw it. I told Carrie, like, hey, like Penny Fairy was doing it for a bingo card. I told her to take it down. And the
And I
story
appreciate that.
is done. And the deal is, like, you have to realize there's numerous people, awareness pages that are streaming Jordan Paul.
right.
So they're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
that idea in their head, like, hey, why is she over there? Because we know who Doodle Fame is. We know who you are. Like, we see you all the time. And so when I saw it, I dropped down to Carrie's box. I went to Penny Fairy's Live. I seen it. I was like, oh, well, that's, it was a mistake. We move on.
I appreciate it.
At one point or the other, like, we all have to move on. I never had any issues with you, nor anybody else, but we move on. We're all awareness pages. We all do what we do. We spread the awareness. We're helping others. Not for ourselves,
Right.
but for other people. Like, donate to, like, charity. Donate to somebody else. Like, not these awareness, like, not these scammers online on TikTok or even, like, outside of your neighborhood. Don't donate to them either. You know what I mean? And so I don't want you to have, like, bad blood against Carrie for what she did. Because at the end of the day, every awareness page saw that. I got a hold of Carrie outside on the back end from the live. I found out why that you did that. I was like, hey, like, this is why, Doodle Fan did this. I even reached out to you in the DMs on TikTok. That's why she did what she did. Okay, let me delete the photo or the video.
See,
Well, I appreciate it, you guys. And again, I'm sorry. I certainly don't remember July, but again, I was new.
it just opens up, it just creates bad
Right.
blood when things like that happen.
And that's
And
what
nobody
that-
knows the reasons why people do what they do. You found out here tonight, but it's on a live. There was no communication on the back end. I mean, if
Right.
you don't believe in, if you don't agree with something that someone does, hit them in the DMs. Say,
Thank
hey,
you.
Like,
Yep.
at the end of the day, like, we're all awareness. We're all trying to help. Like, even me and Carrie passed by somebody earlier, right? Sending Black Mama money on disability.
yeah.
It's not easy to live in fucking life. Carrie saw the message you posted on JP's live. So, okay, like, this is like an awareness. Let's, like, send that to enablers. I saw the post. Like, I dropped down out of the box. Physically, you can watch her live again if you want. I dropped down. I went to Penny Fairy's live. I saw what you said. I called Carrie. Like, hey, Carrie, yeah, let's not do this. She deleted the whole video regarding it. But awareness has came to a point where we're all turning against each other. We're here to help everyone and anyone that we could help. Not to turn
Absolutely.
not to turn on against each other. Like, we're not here for that. Like, we're here to help
All right.
everybody.
I gotta
anybody.
cut it. I gotta cut it.
Go
Not
ahead.
that this isn't important, but she's said what she said.
Mhm.
What I tell everybody is to just wait. Like somebody said, she has 21,000 followers, but she might be new to awareness. But if she knew
I did dog content, so
But then if you also knew Lisa Richards, you ain't that new because she been around for a long time. At
Right.
this point, listen. I do not want this live when it's done and over with to be about calling out Doodle Farm
I'm
because
not
that
doing it.
misses the entire point of what I was doing.
No, I get
And,
that, DD.
and I want to apologize for bringing this over here. And I'm sorry, Doodle Fam. I would like you to drop it as well and move on. I've tried to move on. I just want to bring awareness to beggars. That's all I want to do.
All right. Everybody drop out the
Thank you,
bottom.
Dee Dee.
Thank
I love
you.
you,
Thank you,
DD.
Dee Dee.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so because now I feel forced to do what I thought I was gonna do, but maybe I won't because we ain't ready. All right,
Dee, do you
Leave
everybody.
want
it
me to
at
drop?
Dee.
Yeah, everybody can drop.
Thank you.
Thank you. So simply K. It's okay. It's okay if you don't get it. It's over and done with. The only thing I will say is to be mindful that even if everybody around you knows what's going to happen, there are eyes everywhere and they may not know. And so just be conscientious. And when I'm in there as digital, very rarely am I silent, especially if I'm in the scammers live, because I'm going in with them knowing that I'm there as digital. I want them to know that I'm there. So I usually say stuff. I ask questions or whatever. I know I'm going to get booted, but that's when I'm my biggest and boldest is when I'm in there as digital. When I'm in there under a burner, which I just blew a burner, I am Melanated Princess. But when I blow a burner, then everybody knows that it's me. But I still talk on a burner. But it's never like, oh, how are you? Can I help you with anything? What are you asking for today? Do you have your hotel room? Oh, did you eat? I'm gonna send you $20 just to be funny to see you depend on the $20 and I don't send it. I don't find stuff like that funny, but that's my sense of humor. I am out of the business of telling anybody else how to do what they do. I'm only gonna talk about what I do. I'm out of that business. Okay, so for a very, 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 very long time, I have been questioning what is wrong with the enablers, the moderators, the people who send the money, the people who I refer to as willfully ignorant. What do I mean by that? Somebody who's only been around for a little while and they've sent 5, 10, I mean, some people will send 100 off the rip because they believe the story. Not talking about them. Those are people who still deserve messages to send them videos of people who are doing the absolute most. That's that category. People who don't know and are being taken advantage of. There is another group of people who know exactly what's going on. They co-sign the lies. They co-sign the BS. They encourage people to give money. They'll say stuff like, let's start the dollar train. Or, she's honest. I've seen it. Knowing good and well they're lying. They don't deserve my kindness and concern because you are choosing to be willfully ignorant. You mean to tell me you see Cake outside at 3 a.m. and she didn't ask for money for her room until 3 a.m. and she don't got it? But then all her stuff was there. How is it that they don't kick out her stuff, but they kick her out if she's a resident? Because that means they'd have to evict her. Okay, you're willfully ignorant. So, as y'all know, I've been doing this for a minute, working on a scammer awareness booklet so that I have something that when like somebody says, how do you bring awareness? What do you do? Here's a booklet. And the way I want to do the booklet Right, housekeeping is knocking. Exactly. I want to do the booklet in two forms. One as a video where I read through it. And then another one that can be sent to people who are new as a video. But it's going to be like page by page by page that people can swipe through. Not trying to gatekeep. Kylie, I don't think you meant for the. So first I have red flags, obviously. Then I have an introduction to what we do, and why we do it, and the purpose behind it. Because our purpose isn't to hurt or harm, scare, any of that. The purpose is to prevent people from getting taken advantage of. Sole purpose. Because we have to remember Jay, why am I going to forget Jay's last name? Jay, who considers himself an awareness creator too, made a point that he's talked to some of the people who are the biggest gifters on this app. And 9 times out of 10, they're lonely, ill, retired. They don't have nothing else to do, and this is their only connection. So that when somebody, it doesn't matter if they're a scammer. If somebody's willing to look at them, say their name, talk to them, make them feel special, they will literally send their social security check. Because it's their connection to life. But guess what? If they become a part of us, they can have that connection for free. That's what's. My name's not important. Who I am is not important. How many people in my life are not important. How many people see my videos is not important. The scammer isn't the important one. But anyway, I have been dying. So my niece and I actually worked on this. Let's see. I have come up with clinical style terms to explain the enablers, supporters, and moderators. I'm not going to go through them all, but I'm going to go through a few. So there's the attachment-based patterns, an affiliative fraud attachment, or an AFA. Persistent emotional bonding with fraudulent personalities as a substitute sources of belonging. Or a parasocial dependency disorder, which is a dysfunctional reliance on one-sided digital relationships often focused on deceitful or manipulative figures. Here we go. Let's do a couple more. The empathy and compassion dysregulation disorders. The pathological pardon impulse. The habitual rationalization of unethical behaviors from scammers via empathy. Let's go to another category here. Cognitive distortion patterns. So there's the moral inversion reliance, which is a dependence on inverted narratives that recast wrongdoers as victims who deserve support, or the rationalization override disorder, or the suppression of rational judgment due to emotional affinity for known scammers. And the very last one is social reinforcement dynamics. Validation-seeking fraud immersion, which is engaging with scam-related content to satisfy recognition or validation needs. And the rehabilitative fraud ideation, which is fantasy of redeeming or reforming a scammer. Now, as you can see, there are many more. And they all fall within these 4 categories. And I'm going to post it as its own video. Because there has to be something missing that people would prefer to support someone that is taking advantage of other innocent people rather than tell the truth. In fact, I could never get any of them to talk to me. I've given them their own illnesses. So when I do an Enablers Live, we'll see which illness you fall under. Because you can be funny, so can I. You can be so smart, so can I. Now, you won't find any of these in any sort of medical book. But they're certainly going to be in the anti-scam, raising the consciousness pamphlet of how to do awareness. Now, to answer that other question more thoroughly, hold on. If you see someone who you believe is taking advantage, find somebody within the community you can respect. I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 a.m. You will meet plenty in here. There are others who go live at other times. I just happen to have a schedule because that's what works for me. But if you come here and or you watch my YouTube channel, you'll get accustomed to the people who are here regularly. Go talk to them before you do anything, because they will come after you. And like I said, unless you have a burner, you are opening up your family, your life, your peace to them. Now, it may be somebody new we can look into. It may be a goodie but oldie we've always talked about. But be here and learn first. Because depending on who you learn from will dictate how you go forward. See, some people think trolling is okay. Some people think calling a person's hotel is okay. Some people think scaring them is okay. Some people think paying them to say the N-word is okay. So be mindful. Be careful. And as you learn, you can do more. Like, the most important is to message someone you think is going to give money to encourage them not to. And I'm going to post those examples, and you can reword it however it fits for you. They are our priority, not the scammer. Tammy, are you asking for the box, or was that a mistake? Okay. Well, first of all, I appreciate everybody being here. Sorry for the detour, but I like to start on time. I like to end on time because other people like to go live and I don't like to take their time. But these are my closing remarks for us. Like I said, I wrote them down. Oh, okay, no problem. I want to leave you with this. I want you to take a moment and really think about how far this community has come. I know that we hear about how it was back in the day when it was just a smaller group and everybody got along and everything was great. In my opinion, it wasn't great, because look at where we are now. If it was always great, we'd still be great. But times change. New people enter the theater. Some people are holding on to the edge of the tent. Right, Scam Player? That's what I'm wondering, because the stuff coming out from the OGs, I'm looking at it sideways. But look at how far we've come just in the time that some of you have been around. I've only been doing this a year and 5-6 months. Some of you have been around for years. And we've gotten better with strategy. We've gotten better with messaging. We have more eyes looking, because imagine if that OG group was the only group trying to keep track of all the people we have now. And so what started with those few voices questioning things has turned into a movement of people who are informed, aware, and no longer easily manipulated. And that didn't happen by accident. That happened because you guys showed up. Because you guys paid attention. Because you cared enough to say something. I always say that, yeah, I have this bully pulpit by which I speak, but I wouldn't be able to do what I do without the people who are live streaming, the people who are sending the messages, the people who are sending me messages and making videos. But along with what we do, there's always going to be backlash. Of course, we have the threats. We have the smear campaigns. We have the videos made to discredit you. We have people making videos saying you're not in it for the right reasons. There are lies designed to make you look like the problem instead of the solution. And that's not a coincidence either. This is what happens when light is shown into the darkness. What we need to remember moving forward is that we don't have to be loud to be effective. We don't have to be reckless to be impactful. And we definitely do not need to step outside of the lines, the rules, in order to make a difference. We need to work smarter, not harder. We need to stay within the law. We need to stay within TikTok terms of service and community guidelines. But most importantly, we need to stay aligned with our own moral compass. Because the moment we lose that, we lose what makes our community great, and we lose what makes our community different. We're not here to harass. We don't bully. We're not here to become exactly what we're speaking against. But we're here to educate, to expose patterns, not attack people, to protect others who may not see what we see. And that requires discipline on our part. It requires us to have integrity. It also requires us to have patience. And so many of you have proven that. So don't let the noise distract you. Don't let the lies derail you. And don't let anyone convince you that what you do here on a daily basis doesn't matter, because it does. Every person who pauses a millisecond before sending someone money because of what you said, every person who recognizes a scam because of what you have exposed, that is the real impact. So stay sharp. Keep going. Just go wisely. Stay grounded. Remember why you started this in the first place. I appreciate every single one of you. And we'll keep building if we do this together. We don't need drama between us. We need to keep the drama outside of us. So again, thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking the time to spend with me. And as always, hug your loved ones, because tomorrow isn't promised. And do some self-care sometime tomorrow. I will see you Monday morning. I will not be here on Wednesday. So with that being said, what song am I ending with? Oh yeah, Echo. Play All I Do Is Win by DJ Khaled.
Here's All I Do Is Win by DJ Khaled on Amazon Music.
I'll see you guys Monday morning.